We are at Mactan Cebu International Airport and we're on our way to Manila where we will be joining a group tour to Chengdu and to Chongqing. We're finally in China. We got our bags already. They took out the Hongyadong cave or the Hongya cave from the itinerary. Qingdao lychee beer that is the biggest hot pot in the world. Super crowded. My name is JD, and it's my first time traveling to China. For this trip, I booked the cheapest group tour I could find. Round-trip flights, 3-star hotel, meals, tours, guide, and more for less than 20,000 pesos. We spent the first half in Chongqing, and for the rest of the trip, we will be going to Chengdu. I have my biases on group tour packages, and I have intentionally avoided them for the past 10 years of only traveling DIY. Will this experience change my mind? Join me in my first trip to China and let's find out. We are in Chengdu. It's currently around 4:10 in the afternoon, and we're in this place called Wide and Narrow Street or Wide and Narrow Alley. So, yes, last night was our last night in Chongqing, and then this morning we left Chongqing early at around 8 a.m. We passed by a mandatory shopping stop. You know, that's kind of how these package tours go. And then traveled for a bit, had lunch, and then traveled for a bit more. So we've probably been traveling for half a day now. We just made it here in our first destination or our first stop, official stop in Chengdu, which is the Wide and Narrow Alley. So there. It's one of those old streets. Kasi BJ, nag-karaoke. Kita yung karaoke, Abi? Karaoke. First impressions, I think I like Chengdu more than Chongqing. We have the next 3 days to figure that out. But right now I can feel like I'm gonna like this place more than I like Chongqing. I did not dislike Chongqing, but I might just like this place more than Chongqing. So yeah, last night we actually went back to the city center because our tour, you know, it's kind of rushed. So may mga ganahan palito na ganahan may among galing yung time ba. So last night we took a Didi. And then we went back to the city center, bought some stuff. On our third day, we had breakfast and checked out early from our hotel in Chongqing. Chengdu is about 3 to 4 hours away, so I thought it just made perfect sense to leave early. However, as the bus started driving out of the hotel parking lot, our tour guide informed us that the first part of the day was going to be a mandatory stop at a latex store. They strictly prohibit shooting photos and videos inside the latex factory. According to our guide, this was because the technology we were about to see was confidential. Right. It was pretty much the same instruction on day 4 at a Chinese medicine shop and on day 5 at a jade shop. I did not attempt to get stolen shots anymore. I just decided to go with it, sit for the next 2 hours, and firmly and politely decline any products being offered. A quick Google search will tell you everything. There is a mandatory latex, medicine, and or jade shop on all cheap tour packages all over China. Shanghai, Beijing, Zhangjiajie, and apparently even outside China, like in Da Nang, Vietnam. They offer mattresses and pillows that pass the egg test, authentic jade that passes the flashlight test, and ointments and massage oils and cordyceps with a complimentary herbal foot bath. It's the same story everywhere. It is what it is, and I won't dwell on that for the remaining half of this trip because, even with all that hard selling in the way, Chengdu was also a remarkable place. That was rabbit meat. So our tour guide was sharing earlier in the tour bus before we arrived here that one of the one of the delicacies or one of the dishes that Chengdu is known for is rabbit meat, rabbit hot pot, and specifically the locals like rabbit head. So I don't know if we'll ever get to try that in the next 3 days, but it's good to know. We just finished buying ref magnets, mandatory ref magnets for our friends. And then a few other things for our family. And we have about 15 more minutes before we need to go back to our meeting point. We were given an hour to explore Shangzi Alley. Aside from the magnets and other pasalubong, we also went inside a local bakery and bought this egg tart that was topped with a cute panda pudding, as well as a Chinese meat pie. If we were not in a tour group, I can imagine spending more time here, but we had to go back to our meeting point. When we got there, some folks from our tour group were buying fresh strawberries from a street seller. You would be amazed to know that QR payments are accepted almost everywhere in China, even by street vendors. We went back to the bus and ate the goodies on the way. We tried the panda egg tart head first. It was good. The Chinese meat pie, not a fan. About an hour later, we arrived at the restaurant for dinner. This is included in the package. So for day 3, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all included. After dinner, we checked in at another Holiday Inn, and only minutes after dropping our bags in a room, we went out for a walk. We stayed in Dujiangyan, which is apparently still Chengdu, but an hour away from the city center. At first, I was disappointed that we weren't in the heart of Chengdu, where all the action should be. But after taking an evening stroll around town, through the night market, the random alleys, the Guangshan Old City Gate, and seeing the majestic bridge that is part of the impressive ancient irrigation system of Dujiangyan, combined with the late autumn, early winter chill, I was happy that we stayed here. The next morning, we had an early breakfast at the hotel and headed to Yangchanwu Plaza at the break of dawn. The park is at the same riverside we walked the night before and is known for a big panda statue in the middle. After taking photos, we saw this photo booth that took the best angle of the big panda. Of course, we had to try it. It's about this photo booth. You pay 9.9 yuan. It's about 100 pesos. It has the perfect angle with the panda, and this is what you get. This is what you get in print. So it's like a news article. Paboodle for 9.9 yuan. That's roughly around 90 pesos. Not bad. It's not a bad boodle. So we're at this giant panda thing in Chengdu. Ano siya? It's fun. It's very cold in Chengdu this morning. It's colder than Chongqing.
Ano, pa-picture tayo?
Sige, picture tayo.
1, 2, 3, go. Ha?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, hard. 1, 2, 3, opa.
On our way back to the tour bus, we passed by the old city gate again and took photos before heading out. We then went to a mandatory shopping stop in a Chinese medicine store and afterwards visited the Zhongshuge bookstore. This place reminded me of the Starfield Library in Seoul, Korea, and the Miyahara Ice Cream Parlor in Taichung, Taiwan. After the bookstore, we had our lunch. For day 4, only breakfast and lunch is included. And then we went to a panda conservation center. It's our 4th day in China. We're in Chengdu. And right now we're in Panda Park. So apparently there's about 1,900 pandas in China. In the whole Chengdu. That's 2/3 of the panda of the world is in Chengdu. 2/3 of the pandas of the world. There's supposedly a lot of parks that has pandas. It's uphill, sorry. So we're here to see a giant panda. I'm visiting my ancestors. Giant pandas come from China, and there are several conservation centers in Chengdu. This had to be one of our most favorite parts of this trip because we realized how therapeutic it was just watching pandas being pandas. Nahira jud ang Panda Park diri sa Chengdu. Unlike sa mga zoo na naadtuan na mo, there's no glass. So ganyan siya. They're very close. And very, daghan pod, actually.
If magtantrums ang panda, tapos ano siya, bad trip siya, ayaw niya sa inyong susunod siya sa'yo. Umalis na kayo pa. Pagkasampalin tayo lahat ng panda. Okay lang yan. Pwede siyang humakbang dito.
I don't think the camera is doing any justice on how close we are to the pandas. It's different in person, yun. Guys, ang cute talaga, guys. Sobrang cute niya.
Panda. Kami.
Okay. That's panda number 3. Isa tulog eh. I just discovered a new therapy. Watching pandas eat bamboo. It's so therapeutic. It's so relaxing to see them eat and roll up and sleep. Lingawa jud eh. Cute sad kayo sila eh. It's like, ay, meron pa dito. Ano po yung saliri. We spent about 2 hours in the Panda Conservation Center and then we went to our last official stop for the day, which is the ancient Dujiangyan Bridge that we saw from afar the night before. For day 4, the tour ended in the afternoon and we were encouraged to take a stroll around the ancient town and have dinner at our own expense. If you took the $150 offer from day 1, this is when we would be having the big buffet dinner as it is our last night in China. But we had other plans. We were dropped off back to the hotel at around 4. We didn't waste any time. I immediately booked a Didi to take us to the big city so we can go on one last side trip before flying back home. The New Century Global Center is the world's largest building by floor area. Inside there are malls, offices, hotels, a water park, an artificial beach, an ice rink, cinema, and many other things. It's huge. But that is not why we're here. Right across is SKP Mall, where you can find the Tower of Life. It's a fountain that was designed to look like a giant bamboo, and the light show at night is majestic. After a quick dinner at McDonald's, we headed back to our hotel. We left Dujiangyan early on our last day, right after having breakfast at the hotel. We had our last mandatory shopping stop at a jade shop and reached central Chengdu before noon. We had an early lunch afterwards. For day 5, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all included in the tour. We then headed to IFS Mall and we were given 2 hours to stroll. We took photos and made a last-minute pasalubong run and went back on our way. We had an early light dinner near the airport and then finally boarded our return flight at 9 p.m. So let's talk pros and cons, starting with the pros. First, it's convenient and hassle-free. You don't have to figure out where to go and how to get there. Your itinerary is already made for you, and your visa is practically pre-approved. Second, you have a tour guide which explains and gives information about the places you visit. Third, and this is probably minor but makes a big difference to us, having a tour bus means that we can leave all the souvenirs and pasalubong we buy while exploring the next destination. On DIY trips, we usually end up carrying our stash the entire day until we get back to our hotel. And lastly, but most importantly, it was very affordable. We have done DIY trips everywhere for more than a decade, and I know that the price for everything you get in this package simply cannot be beat by DIY. And the reason for that is also our first con, which is the mandatory shopping stops. I learned that those companies actually subsidize these packages, meaning they pay travel agencies to make them cheaper for tourists. So the sales staff may be hard sellers, but be kind to them. Chances are they are just trying to make a day's living. Don't take it personally if they are practically shoving items to your face. Smile and politely say no. They do take no for an answer. And the second con for me is time. Because of the pre-planned itinerary, we felt that some places felt rushed. But overall, we enjoyed this trip. We came in with little expectation but found ourselves pleasantly surprised several times. I love that it's mostly cashless. This meant that I did not need to bring money for exchange or even withdraw money from ATMs. Alipay is so widely accepted, even more than credit cards. Speaking of Alipay, it is also relatively affordable to go around. When we got back to the Philippines, I checked my Alipay history and we spent less than 20,000 pesos for out-of-pocket expenses. This included meals and snacks outside of what was in the package, a good amount of pasalubong, and about 1/3 of that amount was on Didi rides for our personal side trips. I was amazed by the quirkiness of Chongqing, the impressive architecture that blended well with the mountainscape, the well-preserved old parts of town. I fell in love with Chengdu. Its charm, its chill vibe, and its giant pandas. I appreciate how generally clean it was everywhere. And everywhere we went, the locals were nice and friendly, even with a big language barrier. Oh, and one last important thing. Because you are joining a group tour, you will definitely make new friends. I'll give it to you straight. I probably would not book a group tour again. But that's not to say that you should not. At the end of the day, the pros outweigh the cons. What I'm simply saying is that it does not align with the traveling style that I have formed in the last 10 years. And at least for now, that's how I prefer to do it. As for China, I have to say this. China is beautiful. We will be back. It will be sooner than you think, and it will be DIY. Ay, nagtakip na mukha.
Asya siya.
Walang takip-takip po pwede sampahin. Diyan lang siya, oh.